Did you know that your four-legged friend might be a bit superstitious? Surprising, isn't it? Many owners notice strange repetitive actions from their pets that resemble real rituals. Today, we will dive into the mysterious world of canine superstitions and rituals and find out whether our furry companions can truly be superstitious or if these are just behavioral traits that we humans misinterpret. Understanding these behavioral characteristics is not only fascinating, but can also help you better understand your pet, strengthen your bond, and even solve some behavioral problems that might arise from these rituals. Let's start from the beginning. Can dogs really be superstitious? From a scientific perspective, superstition requires abstract thinking and the ability to connect unrelated events, skills traditionally considered exclusively human. However, recent research in the field of canine cognitive abilities makes us reconsider this viewpoint. Researchers from the University of Vienna discovered that dogs can form associations between actions and consequences, even if these connections are random. This is called superstitious behavior in psychology, and it's surprisingly similar to human superstitions. When a dog performs a certain action and it's followed by a positive outcome, it might start repeating this action, hoping for the same result, even if there's no causal relationship between them. Imagine, your dog accidentally spins 3 times before you gave it a treat. The next time, it might intentionally spin, expecting a treat. Over time, this can turn into a real ritual before feeding. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? One of the most common canine rituals is circling before sleep. Many owners notice that their pets make several circles in place before lying down. This behavior has deep evolutionary roots and dates back to dogs' wild ancestors. In nature, wolves and wild dogs would circle to flatten tall grass and create a comfortable resting place. Additionally, this ritual helped scare away snakes and other dangerous creatures that might be hiding in the grass. Although modern domestic dogs don't need to worry about snakes in their soft beds, this instinct has persisted. Interestingly, some dogs make a strictly defined number of circles, no more, no less. This looks more like a real superstition than a simple instinct. What about dogs that refuse to go through certain doors or avoid specific places in the house? This might resemble human superstitions about bad places. In reality, dogs might have negative associations with these places. Perhaps your pet was once frightened by a loud noise while passing through that door, or slipped on that section of the floor. Dogs' memory for emotionally charged events is very strong, and they can avoid places associated with unpleasant experiences for a long time. Research conducted at the University of Lincoln showed that dogs can form such associations after just one negative experience and maintain them for several years. Amazing, isn't it? This is similar to how some people avoid certain places after experiencing something unpleasant there. Many owners notice that their dogs exhibit special behavior before eating. Some pets insist on circling their bowl before starting to eat. Others might push the bowl with their nose in a certain direction, or even take pieces of food and arrange them on the floor in a special order before beginning their meal. This behavior often has roots in hunting instincts and resource protection. In the wild, dogs and wolves often carried parts of their prey to a safe place or hid excess food for later use. Domestic dogs may retain these instincts even if there's no practical necessity for them. Over time, these actions can become ritualized, especially if they're accidentally reinforced. For example, if the owner finds this behavior amusing and gives the pet more attention. Have you ever noticed that your dog insists on a certain route during walks? Many dogs develop strict preferences about where to go and in what order to visit places. They might show anxiety or even refuse to continue the walk if the familiar route is disrupted. From a behavioral science perspective, this is related to territorial instinct and the need for predictability. Dogs are creatures of habit, and routine gives them a sense of security. A familiar route allows them to feel in control of the situation and reduces stress. Over time, this need for consistency can turn into something resembling a ritual or superstition. Interestingly, research conducted at the University of Bristol showed that dogs with higher anxiety levels are more likely to develop such ritualized behavior patterns. This is very similar to obsessive-compulsive disorder in humans, which is also often associated with anxiety. Particularly curious are rituals related to play. Many dogs develop complex rules for their games. For example, some pets insist that a ball be thrown in a certain way or that a toy be hidden in specific places. If these rules are broken, the dog might refuse to continue playing or show signs of confusion. This behavior demonstrates dogs' amazing ability to create and follow complex social rules, a skill long considered exclusively human. Researchers from Duke University found that dogs not only understand the rules of games but can also adapt them depending on their playmate, showing true social flexibility. What about weather? Many owners swear that their dogs sense storms long before the first signs of bad weather appear. Some pets start performing specific actions, hiding under the bed, seeking out their owner, or showing anxiety. This might look like superstitious behavior, but in reality, dogs simply have more acute perception. Dogs can hear sounds at frequencies up to 40,000 Hz, compared to humans only up to 20,000, and their sense of smell is tens of thousands of times sharper than ours. They can detect changes in atmospheric pressure and even smell ozone that forms during electrical discharges in the atmosphere. Therefore, what seems like a sixth sense or superstition to us is actually just a manifestation of their incredible sensory abilities. One of the most intriguing superstitious behaviors in dogs is their reaction to certain places or objects that seem completely ordinary to people. For example, a dog might suddenly start barking at an empty corner of the room or refuse to enter a certain room without an apparent reason. Some owners interpret this as dogs' ability to see ghosts or sense supernatural phenomena. However, scientists offer a more prosaic explanation. Dogs might be reacting to sounds, smells, or even electromagnetic fields that are inaccessible to human perception. For instance, they might hear ultrasonic signals from electrical appliances or detect the smell of rodents in the walls. Research conducted at the University of Oregon showed that dogs can detect smells in concentrations 100 million times lower than what's available to human olfaction. Imagine how much information they receive that we don't even suspect exists. Many dogs exhibit special behavior when meeting other dogs or people. Some pets insist on a certain greeting ritual. For example, first sniffing a person's right leg, then the left, and only then allowing themselves to be petted. Others might perform specific movements before starting to play with another dog. This social behavior has deep roots in the evolution of dogs as pack animals. In the wild, wolves and other canids use complex greeting rituals to establish and confirm social hierarchy. Domestic dogs have retained these instincts, although they might manifest in modified forms. Interestingly, researchers from Budapest University found that dogs can recognize and remember individual greeting characteristics of different people and other dogs, adapting their behavior accordingly. This shows amazing social flexibility and learning ability. What about dogs that seem to have special preferences regarding time? Many owners claim that their pets know exactly when it's time to eat, walk, or when the owner should return, even if the daily schedule changes. Some dogs start showing signs of expectation a few minutes before the usual time of their owner's return, even if they come home at different times. Studies show that dogs do possess internal biological clocks and can track time with amazing accuracy. An experiment conducted at Northwestern University showed that dogs can determine the duration of time intervals with accuracy to within a few minutes. Moreover, they can link certain events to specific times of day, forming something like a mental schedule. But there's another explanation. Dogs might not be reacting to time itself, but to subtle changes in the environment that signal the approach of a certain event. For example, they might detect changes in light intensity, sounds from outside, or even smells that change throughout the day. What should you do if your dog has developed rituals that interfere with normal life? Sometimes these superstitious behaviors can develop into real compulsive disorders, especially if the dog experiences chronic stress or anxiety. Signs of a problem might include excessive licking, chasing their tail, compulsive digging, or other repetitive actions that the dog cannot control. In such cases, it's important to consult with a veterinarian or animal behavior specialist. Often these problems can be solved through behavioral therapy, environmental enrichment, and sometimes medication. The key point is not to punish the dog for these actions, as this will only increase anxiety and worsen the situation. Interestingly, many canine rituals and superstitions can be transmitted from one dog to another through social learning. Studies show that dogs are among the few animal species capable of so-called true imitation, the ability to copy the actions of others, even if they have no obvious purpose. An experiment conducted at the University of Vienna demonstrated that dogs can remember and reproduce actions they observed in other dogs or humans, even after a significant time. This means that if one dog in the house has developed a certain ritual, other pets might start copying this behavior, creating the impression of a family tradition or superstition. To summarize, we can say that dogs can indeed exhibit behavior resembling superstitions and rituals. Although it's not quite the same as human superstitions based on complex cultural and symbolic systems, canine rituals demonstrate the amazing cognitive abilities of our four-legged friends, their ability to form associations, adapt to their environment, and create complex behavioral patterns. Understanding these behavioral characteristics is not only fascinating from a scientific perspective, but also helps us better understand our pets, strengthen our bond with them, and provide them with a comfortable and happy life. What unusual rituals or superstitions have you noticed in your dog? Perhaps your pet insists on sleeping only in a certain position, or has a special ritual before eating. Share your observations in the comments. Let's create a collection of the most interesting canine superstitions. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it. This will help other dog lovers find our content. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss new episodes. And if you know someone who is also interested in dogs, share this video with them. They might find answers to their questions about their pet's behavior. Next time, we'll dive into another fascinating topic from the world of dogs that will surely surprise you. In the meantime, observe your four-legged friends more carefully. Who knows what other amazing behavioral characteristics you might discover? After all, each dog is an entire universe, full of mysteries and discoveries. Remember, what we call canine superstitions is simply their way of understanding this complex world and finding their place in it. And in this, they are amazingly similar to us humans.